Hi, welcome back to my channel. Oh, sorry, knocked the camera there. So today I'm going to ask, what do your angels want you to know on this beautiful day? What would your angels like you to know today? And we've got adventure, the Silk Road, Inner Mongolia. Wow, and just look at that landscape. Look, and it's like you're trying to decide whether to follow a path that you've already gone, maybe a road that others have gone down, a road that is familiar in some ways, and it's as if others are waiting for you to decide, are you coming, or are you just taking a moment to look at that incredible view? Are you taking a moment to really soak in where you're at this time? Because this is a time for going within. In the northern hemisphere anyway, we're approaching the winter solstice, the darkest time of the year, where we're urged to go within, to reflect, yes, to go into the cave, exactly right, and to kind of ponder on what life has brought. Where are we? Where's life brought us? What are we doing? What are we thinking? What's our next move? What's our next step? But before we can go into that, there's this necessity to go within, and maybe to even accept guidance, to sit by the fire, to rest, to percolate your ideas. And maybe that's this sacred pause in the journey, whatever it is you're contemplating doing, or whatever has brought you to this moment. Perhaps your work is changing, perhaps a relationship is changing, perhaps your connection with yourself or to spirit is changing, and you're kind of asked to understand the expanse nature of spirit and everything, all the answers, the knowing is there for you. But for now, you're kind of, this person is in this. I want to look at what the meaning of the cave of the hands is in Argentina, because I have a feeling that's going to be relevant to to this message. So let's have a look. 33, and 33 of course is the number of the ascended masters, and the number of divine protection. The threes are very much about that unconditional love, the ascended masters, the consciousness of universal love and hope and peace. So we've got evidence of early people has been found in caves as far back as up to 2 million years ago on planet Earth. So here we are in the Cave of the Hands in Argentina. This cave is named for the hundreds of paintings of hands stenciled on the rock walls. And in this point, I'm just going to try and summarize so that we're not reading the whole thing. We can see the lands below while still feeling safe from predators. So they're in a high vantage point, so they can see. And it's like here in a high vantage point looking down, so you can see what could be enemies or whatever it is you're looking at. But you're sheltered, you're safe, you're up there with spirit, you're protected. There's a strong sense of protection. There's no need for surveillance. You can relax, decorate the walls with art. And when the people placed their hands on the painted hands, they thrummed with life force energy. So in other words, there was that deep connection to the earth, the sky, and everything surrounding. So this may be a reminder for you that you are safe at this time, that you can trust in the protection of your angels, that your spirit guides are around you, supporting you. This could mean that you are a leader in some way, and you're needing to be a safe space for others. And so it could be a moment where you're being asked to pause and protect yourself, to guard and look after your own energy, to use whatever it is that is going to help you to feel safe, and also so use whatever it is to help you feel safe, but also to protect yourself from anything that's draining you, that's taking your energy, that's making it difficult for you to be perhaps a safe space for yourself. Because when we're oh wow, okay, now that feels like a very potent sign. I feel there that with that happening, look, we were protected, although the cards actually hit the flame. Oopsie. Sorry, one moment while we've now got wax on the card. While we were, okay, I've made a mess of that, so we'll leave that for a minute. While we're protected, so can you see what happened there? The cards fell, and this card presented itself very strongly, actually, at the top, even though all of these cards fell. And normally I would pick the card that falls out of the deck, but on this occasion, this one card presented itself, and it's almost like somebody saying, no more, no more. Okay, so if there's something or someone that you're having to protect your energy from, this is a very timely message to really guard yourself, to go within, to stop, just take a moment to stop. Maybe stop being all things to all people. Maybe there's this sense of you're spreading yourself thinly, and that's not helping you, that's making you feel tired. Or maybe it's that you're being asked to guard and protect yourself from something or someone that is actually draining your energy and not allowing you to sit in your vibrancy, and of course we have the choice to change this. We have the choice to do something differently, whether that's remove yourself from the situation, whether that's to say stop, no more, I need to make a boundary, this is too much, or whether it's just about admitting to yourself that this is a moment for you to really pull yourself back from everything that you need to pull yourself back from. And you see, in trying to actually, sorry, I can't resist it when it's when it's wax like that. Can you see that when I tried to relight the candle, I actually ended up spilling wax on the card and making a mess of the card? And again, this is symbolism for, if you don't stop and just take that moment, you know, it actually put the candle out, it snuffed out the life force energy, it put it out. And where I'm hurrying to relight it in the situation, actually I'm then making a mess. So it's that kind of, again, it could be symbolic, and only take it if it resonates, but it could be symbolic of where you're trying to do something hurriedly in that moment rather than just take a step back. Now obviously for the purposes of the reading I would carry on, but in your situation perhaps it's necessary for you to take that, be a sign to just look after yourself, protect your energy, take a moment to really go within and make sure you are self-caring, that you are caring for yourself in a way that you care for others, perhaps in a way that enables you to be that safe space for others. Perhaps you are needed and required to do some kind of work where you're taking care of other people. Perhaps you're a carer, perhaps you've got young children, perhaps, you know, at work you're responsible for a lot of people. Whatever this is, I have a feeling you're somebody that is given a position of responsibility, that you are learning how to lead in a way that makes sure that you are still caring for yourself and putting yourself first. That's going to be really, really important for you. So let this be your reminder, if this feels like this message is for you, to actually do that now, to go in your cave, to connect with the earth. Maybe it's a message to go more out into nature. We had that recently, that idea of connecting with the land, connecting with the earth, letting Mother Nature hold you and guide you and keep you safe while you're going through this time, this difficulty, or this moment where you're really needing to take care of yourself. Apologies for that, I've got wax everywhere, but I'm going to carry on. I'm going to actually read the back of this card, because again, we've got the sign of the feathers for protection. You are protected, you're okay, you're safe. But you are being asked to look after yourself. And here we've got vision. Heaven is where you find it. The question is no longer how did we get here and why, but where do we go and how? And that's exactly maybe what you're pondering. As we said at the beginning of the reading, you're having this moment where you're looking out on everything and saying, right, where am I? How did I get here? What do I want to do next? Where am I going? What shall I do next? Maybe you've actually had to interact with difficulties. Perhaps you've had to overcome difficult situations for you, and you're having to master that ability to continue, or to be a safe space, or to look after yourself in the middle of, while also this is going on. Here, look at this message. I have to read some of this message because it feels really resonant. Paradise is not a place but a state of mind. We must heed the advice to stop and smell the roses, for it's possible that in our fervour to search for the elusive, we sacrifice our Garden of Eden for one tree. It's not so much in what you see, but the way in which you see it. So it's really asking us, calling for, in this moment, it feels like there could be change about to happen. And I will pull more cards to see what's going on. Yeah, there's really the sense of, you know, we're gifted this life, and this moment, we're gifted this moment, and it's up to us what we do with it and how we choose to see it. And again, it's the same message. You're being asked to stop and pause. You're looking this way to the future, but you're being called to stop for a minute. You're being called into sacred pause. And in this sacred pause, you are being watched over. Your guides, your angels, your loved ones are looking over the west while you pray to the east. So, and this could be your ancestors. This could actually be your ancestors. This knowing that they are guarding you. I do feel there's a strong message. I felt it actually earlier, and this sense of ancestral lineage, this sense of the ancestral line. And while you hold a vision, and while you're being called into some very important work, your ancestors are saying, just stop for a minute, just take this moment to take a breath, to really pause on the journey. We've got you, we're looking over you. You know, this is not a warning of danger, but this is a warning that, you know, if you proceed and continue in this way, perhaps you risk burnout. You know, like the candle was showing, perhaps there's a risk of burnout, perhaps there's a risk of, oh, beautiful, a risk of you not allowing yourself to feel the peace, to feel the sanctity and the serenity that you deserve, that you are being called on. They're wishing to bring you this moment. Go into quiet, go into solitude, go into your time of just needing to take a minute, to take a breath, and allow whatever messages want to come through, whatever guidance wants to come through for the next steps. Perhaps you're deciding what you're going to do next, and so it's going to be incredibly important for you that you actually take a moment to breathe and check in. Do you really want this? Is this really right for you? And if it is, you know, how are you going to take this forwards? How are you going to move in your next steps? And I think the pause will definitely help you to find that clarity, to find those answers, to maybe even hear your ancestors of what's coming next. Yeah, there's very much this sense of, can you see how this person has a blindfold on, and there's these beautiful flowers, and actually, you know, it could be seen that there are actually coins in the centers of those flowers. So there, in other words, there is treasure to be found in just pausing for a minute, letting go of this anything that's distracting you from just smelling the roses, literally, to you know, taking pause. So maybe literally go into nature and be amongst, I mean, if there's not flowers around at this time of year, be amongst the trees, be amongst the elements. Allow them to speak to you, allow them to show their beauty to you, allow them to help you feel better, while and let nothing distract you, let nothing prevent you from seeing this, let nothing stop you from understanding that, you know, life, there's always blessings in every moment, and the things that perhaps you're taking for granted or you're not seeing are right there in front of you. Actually, there's magic here right in front of you. And yes, there is a doorway into something new. Yes, there is change. And yes, maybe there have been you know, demons or you know, goblins to face, and on that journey maybe there's been difficulties, and it's brought you to this space of not really understanding what you're doing, your just how much you are worth in this situation, just how much you have to give in this situation, or how much life is actually giving you in this moment as you pause and allow yourself to really savor that moment, all that it would like to bring you, and to bring you the clarity and the vision that you seek, that you would really like to have. And look at this, how lovely. This is a card of, yes, there are beautiful things to come, but for now you're being asked to stop. The wheel is going to turn. For the moment though, can you see the wheel is on the ground? The wheel is being asked to pause. So again, it's a repeating message. I'll pull one more card and see if there's anything different. Oh, the Fool. So again, the Fool is in reverse. I don't normally read reversals actually, but on this occasion I'm just going to take the message that there will come the time for you to step out boldly and fearlessly, and with all of those blessings. But for now, I think you're just being called to just take a moment. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing today, let this be a day where you really don't take anything for granted. Do the thing that calls to your soul, whether it's taking that walk in nature, whether it's reading a book, whether it's resting softly, knowing that you are held in this moment, you're being looked after, you're being watched. Whatever it is you do today, the guidance seems to be from the angels, from your guides, from your spirit helpers, to just take a moment. Life can be wonderful, and it will be wonderful again. But for now, this is your moment to really rest, to just be. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here with this reading. Thank you for being here with me for this moment while we take a minute just to reflect. On the journey, on the message, on where we're at, and before we move forwards. This is a sacred time, and you really are being protected. So beautiful ones, thank you for being here. If any part of this message resonated for you, I'd be so grateful if you like, share and subscribe. It all helps me and my channel. And if you would like to, I'd love to see you next time. Thank you for being here.